For God so loved, stop. Whom does God love in that passage you read? The world. Okay, pause. This side. That he did what? Stop. God loved the world so much. He gave his son. Now here's how the verse could read. For God so loved his son that he said, forget the world. I love my son too much to sacrifice him for the world. What God said, I love the world too much to hold on to my son, if losing my son will save the world. Wow is a very appropriate response. Listen again to the most popular verse. For God loved you so much. Here is you, here's Jesus, here's God. Now what do I do, says God? These people sinned, my son did nothing. They're sinners, they follow the devil, he is equal with me. The only thing they created is a catastrophe by sinning. He created the universe for me. Here's the creator, here's one equal with me. Here's one who has been with me together. We've never been separated throughout eternity. Here he is. And here are these wretched sinners who don't like me. Which one do I give up? God said, I'll give up the one who's just like me to save these wretches, so I might make them like him. Listen to Jesus on the cross. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Here's Jesus again. Here's the world. And the Father looks at Jesus and the sinful world. The world is a cesspool of sin. And there's Jesus. The thief on the cross said, this man hath done nothing amiss. He never sinned. Here's the sinless lamb, but being treated like a sinner. And here's the sinful world. And God said, no, I have to turn my back on one of them. Let me turn my back on my son. When he did, the son felt it. That's why he cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? An expensive mistake. Here is Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He says, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me, which is the suffering for sin. Remove it from me. And the Father says, here's my son. He never sinned. Equal with me. Here are these sinners. Right now, as he's suffering, they're drinking alcohol and smoking dope. But while he's suffering in the garden, that's what they're doing. Now, here's the cup of suffering. One of them has to drink it. Shall I drink it? Shall I give it to the innocent son who's never done anything wrong? Or should I give it to those who deserve it? And God says to the son, you drink it, so they don't have to drink it. Christ died, so you don't have to die. Now, you will sleep. Are you with me? You will sleep. He'll wake you up. Christ died that you do not have to die. Christ suffered that you do not have to. So what am I saying? Here is the chair in the courtroom where the condemned sits. That's the chair right there. The condemned sits there. There's the judge. Here's the attorney. And Jesus, the Father tells the condemned person, get up out of that chair. He tells Jesus, you sit in it. Then the Father pronounces sentence. By the authority that I have, I sentence you to death. That condemned man can go free. Your death frees him. An expensive mistake. My brothers and sisters, when Christ was on that cross and the Father turned away, it was the first time that Jesus and the Father had ever been separated. I told you that a few nights ago. It was the first time. Parents, what do you feel in your heart when you send your little girl to college? That's the first time she has left the house. And you want to visit the campus every weekend because you miss your girl. And you keep calling the doorman. She wishes you wouldn't call so often. Huh? Because you miss your child. You suffer this empty nest syndrome. You raise these children. You saw them crawl. You saw them walk. You saw them play the first game. You saw them, now they're gone and they're married, and you feel a sense of emptiness. They're gone. The emptiness syndrome. Jesus and the Father had never been separated throughout all eternity until that cross. Even when Christ walked the earth, he was with his Father. What did Jesus say in John 8:29? He that hath sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always the things that please him. The Father is with me. But at the cross, for the first time, there was a separation. Jesus felt it when he said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And since the Father feels what the Son feels, the Father felt the separation. Sin is an expensive mistake. And as I have said before, and repetition is important, when you consider all that we have said this morning, when you have the boldness from Satan to say no to Christ, you deserve hell. And so the Bible says, how shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? And this salvation is for you if you're 12 years old. This salvation is for you if you're 112. It is for you in your freshman year in college. It is for you in your first day at work, having gotten your bachelor's degree in finance. This salvation is for the grandmother